Yeah. Next topic is threading issues. Here we have the threading issues are semantics of fork and exec system calls, and thread cancellation of target thread, and signal handling, thread pools, thread specific data, scheduler activations. Okay, these threading issues we'll discuss now. The first one is semantics of fork and exec system calls. Okay, the semantics of fork and exec system calls change in multi-threaded program. Okay, these both the fork and exec system calls semantics will be changed in multi-threaded program. Okay, some Unix systems have chosen to have two versions of fork. Okay, one is that duplicates all the threads. Okay, another that duplicates only the thread that invoke the fork system call. Okay, here we have in Unix system two versions of fork. One is one that duplicates all the threads, another one is which will duplicates only the thread that invokes the fork system call. Okay, and if a thread invokes the exec system call. Okay, what will happen if the thread invokes exec system call? The program specified in the parameter to exec function will replace the entire process, including all the threads. Okay, that's the usage of exec system call. We have discussed in the previous session what the exec system call will do, which will replace the entire process, including all the threads will also get replaced. Okay, but if the thread invokes the exec system call, and which of the two versions of fork to use depends on the application. Okay, which fork will be used, that will be depends on application which we are using it. Okay, if exec is called immediately after forking. Okay, first fork will be called for. What is the use of fork system call? Which will creates a process, right? And always the exec system call will be called immediately after forking. Then duplicating all the threads is unnecessary. So as the program specified in the parameter to exec will replace the process. Okay, exec system call will replace the complete process. Okay, and this in this instance, duplicating only the calling thread is appropriate. Okay, here we have one is if you call the first fork, then it will, which will duplicates all the threads. Like another way we call the fork by after calling fork immediately we call the exec system call. That will duplicates the thread that invoke the fork system call, and it replaces the entire process including all the threads. Okay, by using the exec system call. Okay, next issues the thread is thread cancellation. It is nothing but terminating a thread before it has finished, and it has two goals, that two general approaches, that is synchronous cancellation, other one is deferred cancellation. Okay, thread cancellations we have two approaches, that is synchronous asynchronous cancellation, deferred cancellation. Okay, thread cancellation is nothing but terminating a thread before it finished. Okay, that is called thread cancellation. When the thread is running executing its task, before completion itself we are canceling that thread. Okay, for that we have two general approaches, that is asynchronous cancellation, that will terminates the target thread immediately. Okay, whenever we say cancel, that will terminates the thread immediately. And deferred cancellation, this deferred cancellation will allows the target thread to periodically check if it should be cancelled or not. Okay, that is deferred cancellation. There are two approaches for thread cancellation. Cancellation is nothing but terminating a thread before it has finished, is called thread cancellation. And next one is signal handling. Okay, in signals are used in Unix systems to notify a process. What's the use of signal? To notify the process, we use signals in Unix systems. Okay, that a particular event has occurred. Oh, yeah, especially why the signal, what the signals will notify about what event has occurred. Occurrence of event will be notified by using the signals in Unix system. Okay, and a signal handler is used to process the signal. Signals will be processed by using signal handler. Okay, first one is signal is generated by a particular event. Okay, a signal is generated by a particular event. When the signal will be generated, if some event occurred, signal will be generated. That what's the use of signal? That is used in the Unix system to notify the process about that event occurrence. Okay, and signal is delivered to the process. Okay, first the signal is generated by the event, and signal is delivered to the process, and signal is handled. Okay, these are the uh, three operations which will be done by the signal handler. Signal creation, signal delivered, and once the signal is delivered, then signal must be handled. Okay, next here we have four options for signal handling. That is, deliver the signal to the thread to which the signal applies. Okay, the signal should be delivered to the thread for which that signal applies. Okay, there will be so many events will be occurred. For all the events, signals will get generated. That signal whom we need to deliver, that is the for which this signal is applied. For that particular thread, we need to deliver the signal. Okay, and deliver the signal to every thread in the process. Okay, that is another option. Next one is deliver the signal to certain threads in the process. Okay, only some set of threads. Deliver the signal to certain threads in the process. Next option is assign a specific thread to receive all the signals for the process. Okay, for one process you assign one thread, that is that's duty is to receive all the signals. Okay, these are the four different options to uh, handle the signals. Okay, first option is deliver the signal to a thread which the signal is applies. Okay, for which the signal applies, deliver the signal to only that particular thread. Next, deliver the signal to every thread in the process. Next one is deliver the signal to certain threads in the process. Next one is assign a specific thread to receive all the signals for that process. Okay, these are the different options to handle signals. Okay, this is signal handling issues. Next is thread pools. Thread pools are not bad. We create a number of threads in a pool where they await for work. Okay, thread pool is nothing but we create number of threads in a pool where they wait for the work. Okay, is called thread pools. Advantage of this thread pools is usually slightly faster to service a request with an existing thread than create a new thread. Okay, already here in thread pools, threads will be already created and they will be waiting for the work. What is the advantage? It is faster. Okay, if you want to create the thread, it will take some time, then we'll assign the work for the thread. But here using this thread pools, already a pool of threads will get created and it will be wait for the work. Okay, so it is faster. Okay, usually faster to service a request with an existing thread than creating a new thread. Then creating a new thread, if you use the existing thread, we can do the work very fast. Okay, that is the advantage of thread pools. Next one is which will thread pools allows the number of threads in the applications to be bound to the size of the pool. Okay, which will allows the number of threads in the applications to be bounded to the size of the pool. That is one more advantage of having thread pools. Thread pools are nothing but create number of threads in a pool and make that thread to wait for the work. Okay, whenever work comes, job comes, the thread will start execute that job. Okay, so it is faster. This is about thread pools. Next is thread specific data. This thread specific data allows each thread to have its own copy of data. Okay, thread specific data will allows every thread to have its own copy of data. Okay, which is useful when you do not have control over the thread certain process. That time thread specific data will be used. That is, when using the thread pool, we thread specific data will be useful. Okay, this thread specific data will allows each thread to have its own copy of the data. Okay, this is useful when you don't have control over the thread creation process. When where will not have control over the thread creation process, if we are using thread pools. Okay, this is another issue. Next one is scheduler activations. Like both M is to M and two level models require communication to maintain the appropriate number of kernel threads allocated to the application. Here, both M is to M and two level models requires communication to maintain the appropriate number of kernel threads allocated to the application. And scheduler activations provide up calls. Okay, up calls means it's a communication mechanism for the kernel to the thread library. Okay, scheduler activations provide up calls. Okay, scheduler activations will give you up calls. Up calls is a communication mechanism from the kernel to the thread library that will be provided by scheduler activations. Okay, and this communication allows the applications to maintain the correct number of kernel threads. Okay, if you communicate this scheduler activations will allows an application to maintain a correct number of kernel threads. Okay, this is about scheduler activations.